All right, so now that we know how cogs work, we're gonna start a new cog called mod cog. And this cog is gonna allow us to give moderation capabilities to the moderator role. So the first thing you wanna do before we get started is go to the Discord server that you're working on, and then on the top left-hand corner, click on this drop down and select server settings. Go to the roles tab and create a new role. The role we're going to create is called moderator. And we're going to give this role a purple color. Could choose an image for it, but I'm just going to leave it as is. Okay, so that should be completed, and I should be able to see that role. I should be able to add it to myself here. Okay, so now I'm the moderator. Now that we have our moderator role created, let's go into the source code and create a new file called modcog.py. Inside of this modcog is where we're gonna add the commands for moderators. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and import the libraries we're gonna need. Discord, and then from discord.ext import commands, and we're also going to import datetime. Import datetime, and we're going to create the class. The class is going to be moderator role cog, and we're going to add the commands .cogs in here. Now we got the class created, we have to create the constructor, the init function, self bot self.bot equals bot, and we're going to add the bot into our constructor. To check if this cog is online when we start up our bot, we're going to add a listener here. Add async message self sg if sg.content equals ping moderator dash cog. Then we're going to output the following: await msg dot channel dot send moderator cog is connected. Okay, so we have the listener implemented, and I'm going to add it into the bot manager to make sure it gets picked up. So we're going to do await bot.add cog, and it's going to be moderator role cog bot. Before that's going to work, we got to import it into the library. So I'm going to go to the top here and from cogs.modcog import moderator role cog. Okay, so we got the moderator role cog added in. I'm going to run this bot, wait for it to boot up. The bot is online, and we're going to run that listener command, see if it's the cog got attached. Ping. Okay, so it looks like the cog is connected. That's good. Now we're going to do the same thing as last time where we add a reload and unload command to specifically for the moderator cog. So I'm going to add that in right now. We're just going to copy in the previous commands and we're just going to modify it a little bit. So I'm going to call this unload moderator and reload moderator. To remove the cog, we're going to add the moderator cog, and we're also going to replace that here as well. Okay, so we got that set up. Let's test that out. I'm going to close this, run it. The bot is online. Ping the cog. And now we're going to unload it. And let's try and ping it again to see if it works. Okay, so the unload was successful because it did not respond back to us when we tried to ping it. I'm going to reload it back in. And try to ping it again, see if it responds. And it's online. Okay. So now that we know our bot's connected and we can reload it, unload it, I'm going to add a lot more commands here. I'm not going to go over all of them, but we'll test a few of them to make sure they're working. And then we're going to also add some error handling. So the first command I'm going to give moderators is the ability to create roles. So we're going to add a new command. And in order to ensure that it's only a moderator that can execute this command, I'm going to add commands dot has underscore role and then the moderator role we created earlier. And now we can define the function, create role, self, comma, ctx, star, input, await, ctx, guild, dot create, role, name equals input. Okay, so we have this new role. Let's make sure that it works, but I also want to add an error handler for this. Just in case someone tries to execute this command, but they don't have the role. So what we're going to do is create an error handler and catch that. Create role.error. Sync def error handler self context error, and if is instance error comma commands dot missing role await contacts dot send. You do not have the necessary role for this command. Okay. So we created the create role command. Let's test it out. Let's go back to the bot manager and rerun the Python file. Wait for the bot to come online. I'm going to ping the moderator cog to make sure it's online. Okay, and now we're going to do the new create role command, deckhand. And the reason why I'll be able to create this role is because I have the role of moderator. I'm also going to test it if I don't have that role. Okay, so we created a role, deckhand. Let's see if it pops up here. If I click this add, we'll see that the deckhand got added. So I'm gonna add that to my roles here, which is great. So that's working. Now what I'm gonna do is delete the moderator role for myself and try and run this create role command again. Create role first mate. Okay, and the bot responded, you do not have the necessary role for this command, so it's working. Awesome. Okay, so now that we know that these commands are working and the error handler works as expected, I'm gonna add the other commands. So I'm gonna try and go as fast as I can here. So we're gonna add commands dot command at commands dot has role moderator. And a lot of these are actually going to be pretty much the same with a few differences. So async def kick self context member discord dot member star reason equals none await context dot guild dot kick member reason equals reason. Okay, so this is obviously going to give us the ability to kick users, and we're going to add the error handler here if the user doesn't have the role. Kick dot error. Now we're going to add commands to mute and unmute people, and I'm just going to copy this. So we're going to do mute, and we're going to self context, and then we're also going to get the member again with no reason. And then we're going to go to member, actually I'll just delete all this, member dot edit mute equals true. Okay, so we have the ability to mute the user at mute dot error. Add that into the error handler. Copy this again. And we're going to do unmute here. Member dot mute, and this will be false. I'm going to also add this into the error handler, unmute dot error. And now we're going to do similar functions, but for deafen and undeafen, pretty much going to be the same as these ones. So we got a member, and then instead of mute, we want to call deafen. And this one's true. The method is also deafen. And then we'll do undeafen. And that equals false. Okay, we want to add both of those in here. Deafen dot error and undeafen dot error. Okay, and finally we're going to do a voice kick. So this one's going to also be similar to these other ones. Moderator, member edit, and then voice channel equals none. Okay, we also have to make sure the method is changed to voice kick. We also want to add it into the error handler here. voicekick.error. All right. Now we got one last method where we're going to give the moderators the ability to purge the messages in the channel. So the purge method is going to be a little bit more enhanced. It's going to still require these two commands here. And then I'm going to call async def purge self context amount day int equals none month int equals none year equals date time dot now dot year. Okay. Now we're going to say if amount equals slash if day equals none or month equals none. We're going to return. Otherwise, await context dot channel dot purge after equals date time year month comma day. And finally, the final else, await context channel dot purge limit equals int amount plus 1. Okay, now that we have this purge command set up, we want to also add an error handler for it. So we want to also add it here. But we also want to add another error handler for another type of errors we might come across. Async def error handler self context error if is instance of error commands dot missing required argument. We will say await context dot send. You have to specify either a date or a number. If is instance error commands dot command invoke error, then await context dot send. You can only have a slash or a number as the first input. Okay, now we got that set up. Let's test it out. All right, so let's test out this purge command. I'm going to run the bot. Make sure it's running. Bot is online. Let's ensure the cog is connected, so I'm going to ping it. Okay, and now we're going to run the purge command. Let's make sure I have the proper roles. I need to make sure I'm the moderator. Okay. Purge. And so what I'm going to do is purge this last comment and see if that works. Purge 1. And that bot's comment was deleted. Now what I'm going to try and do is delete everything from today. So we're going to do purge slash, and then, which is the 19th and the month. Oh, whoops, I spelled it wrong. Purge slash 19 1. Okay, awesome. So it deleted everything from today. Sweet. Okay, so that's the mod cog task, and the next thing we're going to go over is creating an admin cog. I will see you in the next video.